Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Coronation Street star Alison King teases Peter's emotional Christmas exit. Coronation Street airs life-changing scenes for Carla and Peter Barlow this Christmas as they decide to go their separate ways. The popular couple are being torn apart as Chris Gascoigne, who plays Peter, has decided to leave the ITV soap. On Christmas Day, Carla takes matters into her own hands by encouraging Peter to leave Weatherfield and pursue a fresh start without her. This builds to a special episode on Boxing Day, as Peter bows out following a heart-to-heart with his wife. Here, Alison King, who plays Carla, shares details of the big festive plot. They're a little off-kilter. Carla is worried about Peter. Obviously, after the accident, he's been struggling with his mental health. At the same time, Carla has been busy and concentrating a lot on the factory. Carla has noticed a sadness in Peter that she can't quite buffer for once. They are arguing a little bit. When Peter is going through something, he can be quite irrational, and he's telling her, quite irrationally sometimes, that she doesn't pay him attention, doesn't give heed to what he wants. Peter says it's all about what she wants, which is dumbfounding to her at that point, because she's trying to juggle so many balls and put her life back together after the money's gone. So it's a case of them not communicating properly. Yes, it was a massive, massive turning point, because although Peter acted on a whim, I think she doubted his motive and why he didn't stop the car and what he actually did in that moment. I don't think they talked about it properly or enough. They weren't truthful enough with each other. Actually, Peter believed he did save Jenny's life, but then there was everything the witnesses said. Carla knew how angry Peter was with Stephen, and when he sensed that she maybe was slightly doubting him, that hit him hard. He didn't think she was truly on his side. I think it's always been a bit of both. It's always kind of worked with their drinking and all the rest, and they have known how to deal with each other's demons. But I think it's becoming a little bit of an issue. Carla doesn't know whether she wants to do what Peter wants to do. He wants to do something else, but he wants to do it with her. I don't think she can. I think it's probably the first time where she's felt that it jars with her. For the first time, Carla can't be Peter's everything. I think it's probably the first time she's seen that she can't be his life raft. With everything she's been through, I think she's still quite strong and she knows herself better than ever. It's been good for them, support-wise. But we've seen that when they're at their worst together, it can be quite damaging. Maybe this is the first time Carla has realized she can't do that going forward. She's capable of living on her own and needs to be happy. Peter starts getting postcards and the messages from his mate on the boat, asking him to go and join him. Carla starts to notice that he's really excited. It is the first time in a while that anything has taken his mind off what has been going on. Obviously, Peter asks Carla to go with him and she flat out says no, because she's trying to get the factory back up and running. I think the realization comes from Peter that she's fighting for the business and they want different things. Carla is realizing that she can't. She's quite happy to carry on her own, and starts to feel sad. It's a slow sinking feeling where Carla realizes that maybe it is time for them to do their own things. We had that and it was wonderful, but maybe that is over. She isn't aware that Peter is talking to Tim and is starting to think he should stay with her. They know they have to talk and Carla has brought the food in for the date night, but then the alarm goes off at the factory and it is something she has to sort and Peter feels let down again, but in a more resigned way this time. Carla feels she is getting pulled in two ways. She can't be in two places at once, and she thinks Peter should be able to see that this is just for now, whilst she sorts everything out. In the past, he has accepted it, but he has his own issues now. Yes, I think that's starting to sink into Carla. She's starting to worry. She talks to Sarah about it and tells her there's something different this time and she doesn't know if they can work through it. The reason is she doesn't know whether she's got the energy to get him through this. I think she's amazed. I think she's really pleased that he's taken this step forward and got in touch with her because she knows it's such a big thing for him to do. Carla is shocked at the timing, I think, but also gets that it is something that Peter is doing to make him keep on the wagon. She's proud and supportive and pleased when she finds out. Carla says, do you want me to go? Peter says it might be nice, which Carla is quite surprised by. But I think, because she's there, Peter doesn't know how to be truthful, because he doesn't want her to see all his vulnerability. At first Peter starts saying that everything is fine and Christmas will be okay. He's trying to protect her a little bit in front of everyone. But because Carla has noticed the sadness and the change in him, she knows he is not being truthful and she calls him out on that. It is gut-wrenching when Peter opens up and says he feels like he is not living a life. It really brings home what she has been thinking, that even with her by his side, he is not living a full life and he doesn't feel like it's enough for him. Carla is so sad about that, but then starts to think outside the box and puts Peter completely first and starts to think about what she should do. She needs him to want to own it, tell her the truth, and think about what's best for him alone. She will have to choose. Going and living on a boat sounds wonderful and free, but that's not for her. That's not how she sees her life, but it is what Peter wants to do. Carla knows that there could well be a chance that Peter could do that for a year like he has in the past. But she has to look at the bigger picture. It would mean potentially throwing everything away for her to go and do that. If she went and came back, what would be left for her here? Peter has his family and roots here, they would still be here, but the business would be gone and she would have nothing left. Carla will obviously be thinking that she has to make the decision and carry on with her life as normal. It's that old saying, isn't it? If you love someone, you should let them go. That's really for both of them. We were filming solidly together for 2 days. There was a lot to learn. But aside from that, it was amazing. It was so emotional, I did not need any tear stick for those scenes. There was no way of knowing what would happen because every time we did it, I literally filled up with emotion and started crying at different times in every scene. Just seeing a different look from Chris would set me off because he's so wonderful at Meisner technique, which involves an actor reacting to another actor's performance and behavior. He's so reactive. That's why I've loved working with him so much, it's always about the reaction. We can do things 1,000 different ways in each take. And he's so brilliant every single time, it was just a different journey, and you're absolutely spent and it's such a roller coaster of emotions. Even though it doesn't go into specific details of all their past, it shows what they're like as a couple. It was really nice to have that much time on them because people seem to enjoy them just having a conversation. It was something to get our teeth into with all the emotions, and it was a real journey. It was really, really lovely to do those scenes. They've just got brilliant chemistry, and we've got brilliant chemistry. We trust each other, and so it just works. They really get each other and can go through anything, and then there are the softer moments. They understand each other so much. They have grown together such a lot, so I think the viewers can see that. It's just their chemistry and the way they're both perfectly imperfect people, but together, they make sense. I think that's what everybody wants to have. Yes, Carla is definitely not looking for love, she's still got her rings on, she's not over Peter just like that. But what it does with Bobby, coming into this scenario, is snap her out of going into the doldrums and going all reflective. Carla is trying to be quite cut and dry about, I've done this, I've made this decision, I've helped Peter make this decision along the way to leave. But in the factory people are walking on eggshells around her and she doesn't want that. It was going to be tough, so Bobby arriving has snapped her out of that because he's so much trouble. Him coming in and creating havoc a little bit, and her having to support him in lots of different ways stops any self-indulgence. So that's been amazing.